پارشای ویشلخ. هفته پیش گفتیم که یعقوب از لاوان فرار کرد. لاوان بهش کچاپ کرد. گفت چرا فرار کرد؟ گفت دست دخترم زنام بود که دختر تو باشه از زن بگیری. من میخواستم واقعا بهت صدمه بزنم. مطمئن ملاخ دیشب اومد پیش من، ملاخ تو با من صحبت کرد، گفت که مبادا دست بزنی به یعقوب. رایت و با هم دیگه عهد بستن که هیچ وقت یعقوب نره. یعقوب برگشت به طرف کشور اسرائیل. بله.
یعقوب بازنش
نه ولی خب لاوان یهو فکر کرد که نکنه بخواد لاوان ازش یعقوبش انتقام بگیره. وقتی برمیگرده به کشور اسرائیل، یعقوب اومد چند تا ملاخ فرستاد. درست میگم، منظورش واسه فرشته بود. چند تا فرستاد چند تا ایجنت فرستاد که با عیسی صحبت کنن. مثلاش می‌کنیم الان 20 ساله که یعقوب از 22 ساله رو هم رفته از پدر مادرش دور شده. رفت که زن بگیره. ببخشید 14 سالم توی یشیوا بود، یعنی حداقل 34 سال یا ماکسیمم 36 سال یعقوب از پدر مادرش دور شده. بعد 34 سال برمیگرده کجا؟ پیش پدر مادرش و میدونه که باید با عیسی میت کنه. تو این راه من 34 سال پیش براخای پدر رو گرفتم، قاپیدم، در رفتم. 34 ساله که عیسی میخواد منو بکشه. دسترسی من نداشته چون من قایم شدم تو کشور دیگه بودم. خب وقتی آدم برمیگرده obviously بعد با دشمن قدیمیش که برادرش باشه دیل بکنه. گفت که به این فرستاده گفت که برید به عیسی بگید کمان عبد یعقوب بنده تو اینو گفته. این لاوان گرتی، من با لاوان زندگی کردم و آخر خاطر تو الان دیر کردم. 34 سال من کجا بودم؟ چه لاوان بودم. و هیلی شور خمور، من گاو دارم، خمور الاغ دارم، سون گوسفند دارم، برده دارم، شیفخا دارم. میخوام برای تو بفرستم که اینو به تو هدیه بدم که I want to find favor in your eye. ملاخیم برگشتن به یعقوب گفتن که اومدیم پیش برادرت آقای عیسی با 400 نفر داره به پیشواز تو میاد. 400 people. یعقوب ترسید، خیلی ناراحت شد، گفت وای ویلا، بایستی که تمام افرادمو به 2 تا گروه تقسیم بکنم. half and half 50% میذارم این ور، 50% اون ور. اگر عیسی اومد یکیشونو بزنه من بقیه‌اش میذارم نجات بدم. شروع کرد تفیلا خوندن. گفت که هاشم خداوند پدر من خداوند ابراهیم اسحاق، تو که گفتی برگرد به سرزمینت و به زادگاهت، من به تو خوبی میکنم. قطون تو میگه خاصتی من خیلی کوچیک هستم از تمام احسان‌هایی تو من کردی. من با یه عصا عبور کردم، الان 2 تا اردوگاه شدم. خواهش کنم من از دست برادرم از دست حساب نجات بده، چون میترسم که من باید بیاد منو و مادر و بچه رو بزنه و بکشه. تو به من گفتی که به تو خوبی میکنم، نسل زیاد میکنم که مبادا نشه شمردش. اوکی. بعد تو را میگه که چند تا گاو و گوسفند، صدها گاو و گوسفند برای برادرش فرستاد، رایت، که بهش تقدیم به عنوان هدیه بهش تقدیم بکنه. رمبن میفرماید که چرا این پارشا اصلا نوشته؟ چرا ما لازم بدونیم که یعقوب چطوری میت کرد به عیسی؟ به ما چه؟ Something in the past you have to know. So first of all, says the Ramban, خودش با یاد بده که چطوری خداوند آدم‌هاش رو نجات میده. حتی از اشخاصی که از اون خیلی قوی‌تر هستن. جناب عیسی به مراتب قوی‌تر از یعقوب بود. چند نفر بود یعقوب؟ چند نفر بود عیسی؟ یه قبیله داشت. So first of all می‌بینیم که everything went peace تو اینه که یعقوبی هستم 14 سال تورا خوندم will take care of me. He didn't say that. چیکار کرد؟ گفت که بعد هدیه بدم، بعد تفیلا بخونم، بعد برای جنگ خودم آماده بکنم. هر کی گفت تو که تورا خونی، تو که صدیقی، کاری لازم بکنی. راحت برو کیفیتو بکن. گفت نه. و ما میدونیم که این یک رمز برای دوره به دوره که هر چیزی که برای پدر من اتفاق افتاد برای من اتفاق میفته. right؟ ما باید اونجوری باشیم. نمیتونیم بگیم هاشم خودش رحم میکنه. It's wrong. وقتی دشمن داریم بعد به سه چیز خودمون آماده بکنیم. لتفیلا right لتفیلا لدورون و لملخمه.
دورون میشه هدیه دادن.
بله، هم یعقوب هدیه داد، هم تفیلا خوند و هم برای جنگ خوش آماده کرد. چرا؟ چون که گفت اگر عیساب اومد از یه طرف حمله کرد من اون طرف نجات میدم. چطور نجات بدی؟ اونم میکشه. نه، من مثلا میجنگم. therefore اسرائیل باید همیشه این سه تا کار آماده باشن. هم باید تفیلا بخونن همیشه، هم باید تا میتونن هدیه بدن با پول. همین نفر بخری با پول بخرش و ببینید IDF تو سرباز هم احتیاج دارین که به جنگه. ستاش هر ستاش باشه. بعد وقتا you have to bribe them, give them money, food, fuel. اینجوری میتونیم جنگو بخریم. بخر. یشوا بعد تو را بخونن، تفیلا بخونن 100%. بعد بمب بندازی. همش باید باشه. همون که یعقوب بر ستاش آماده بود، این دیگه یک الگوی برای ما. ما به هر ستاش باید داشته باشیم. میتونیم بگیم که شبا چالو. نمیتونیم بگیم که خدا خودش رحم میکنه. It's very wrong. ما سرباز احتیاج نداریم. Of course که داریم. یعنی نه پول نده. Of course. هر جا میتونه دشمن رو این کنه بعد بخره. یک داستانی رو من تعریف کرد. گفت که ما یه مشکیخ داشتیم داوید کرونگلاس از اروپا بعد جنگ اومد اینجا. رفت شانگهای، از شانگهای اومد اینجا. آدم بسیار بسیار صدیق و very 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 important person. یه داستان جالب میگم. کتاباش که تو اروپا اسم خودش رو نوشته بود، بعد که جنگ تموم شد کتابا رو جمع کردن آمریکا بین ایشوا تقسیم می‌کردن. هر ایشوا بودن 10 تا 20 تا باکس می‌فرستن آقا استفاده کنید. کتاب می‌خواید گمارا خماش یه باکس میاد تو ایشوا. چند تا باکس هم 100 تا باکس تو ایشوا ما رو می‌کنن که موقع مشکخ بود، یعنی سوپروایزر ایشوا بوده. باکس اولی که باز می‌کنه کتاب اول که معمولا کتاب اسم خودش توشه.
Really?
کتابش از اروپا براش آورده. very very اشکاخ. Anyways, very big story. ایشون وقتی ما تو اروپا بودیم فکرم تو از پولند میاد. پولند لهستانی right?
Yeah.
So اونجا یه این داشتن یه درافت همه باید میرفتن چیز سربازی جنگ که بوده. با پولند خیلی قوی بوده. آلمان اونجا شدن حمله میکنه. چوری قوی هستی باید سربازی. همه جوان 18 سال بالا. بعد کشورهای قانون دارن که اونایی که توی یشیوا هستن سربازی نمی‌کنن. مثلا تو آمریکا چه قانونی هست اگه مثلا جنگ بشه بخوان درافت بکنن، اگه تو بگی من توی یشیوا هستم میخوام ربای بشم بدون درافت با تو هستی برو برای کلرژی ولش میکنن بره. تو آمریکا مثلا که میخواد هر چیز دینی داشته باشه، اسرائیل هم اینجوریه. اسرائیل هم یشیوا معاف هستن اما خودش طرف بخواد بده. ولی تو پولند این قانونی نبوده. همه رو گفتن بعد برید. رفتن کرونگلاس گفته که ما چیکار میکردیم توی پولند اون موقع؟ خودمون خیلی ضعیف میکردیم. تعنیت میگرفتیم، هفته تعنیت بودیم که ضعیف بشیم. یه دکتر بوده، دکتر رو تصمیم میگرفته که آیا تو بعد برید سباده اگه به طرف جون نره. تازه اینم کاری نبود. میرفتن درون برایبش میکردن تا مثلا پول جمع میکردن میدن به این طرف که تو برای ما رو پاتور کن. خود دکتر برایب نمیگرفته، بهش بوده که من زنش در خونه زنش 10,000 سکه 20,000 سکه خواهش ما رو پاتور کن. زن لیست نمیشته 50 نفر که پول دادن بشه به این 50 نفر رو بعد نمیشته که اینجوری خودشون رو از سربازی پاتور میکردن. right so اگه اینجوری میتونی بکنی اینجوری باید بکنی obviously بعد برای جنگ آماده باشه و تفیلا آدم تا میتونی
همون که یعقوب خودشان فراخون بود ولی برای جنگ هم آماده کرد خودشون
100%. خب برای پولند که نمی جنگید، برای خودش جنگید. so تا جایی که میتونه آدم باید جنگ ممانعت کنه. چرا تفیلا خوند و دوران داد که جنگ نشه، نخواست بره جنگ. right
الان جنگ اسرائیل که اونایی که میرن یشیوا پاتور هست درسته؟
بله
لازم نیست که بره بدون
هیچ وقت لازم نباشه، ولی همشه اگر هیچ کسی که نباشه مجبورن برن چیکار میشه کنه. so این از داستان این پاراشاست که خداوند برای همه گذاشته که ما میستم شه بعد آماده باشیم، بعد تفیلا بخونیم، بعد هدیه بدیم، همچنین بجنگیم. رمبن یک مدرش خیلی جالبی میاره که first of all how did Esau know که یعقوب داره برمیگرده؟ صدا در نیاد از بغل برو بشه بابا هر جایی که برو لازم میشه حساب بری. مدراش میگه که خخامیم یه ذره از یعقوب گله کردن. right یه پاسخ میشله است میفرماد که مخزیک به اذن کلب، کسی که میاد گوش سگو میگیره. right لازم تو نزدیک وایسی برو بر دیگه. ای گوش سگو بگیر سگی واق میکنی پر دست و پات. right هاشم به یعقوب گفت یعقوب این اصلا راه خودشو میرفت، تو چه باش هدیه میفرستی؟ میگه من یعقوبی. right یعنی اگر تو کاری نداشته باشی با حساب ولت میکنه. right این که هدیه فرستاد یه فکر پس خبریه ببینم چرا داره هدیه میفرسته. right دوباره میگه توی خرابی تماشا دوم داره همینطوری شد. مردم رفتن که با رومیا عهد ببندن. چون رومیا داری ولشون کن، دوست دنیا رو گرفتی، لازم نبود اینوالو بشن. You want to join us?
No, I was listening to the Aguda convention.
Oh, okay.
And now I got my son, I want to talk.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. So خیلی وقتا آدم باید بدونه که کی اینوالو بشه که اینوالو نشه. خیلی وقتا آدم باید سکوت داشته باشه، لازم نیست که همیشه اینوالو بشه که مواد چیزی بشه. هاشم یعقوب گفت why did you even start? I didn't tell you to send agents to Esau. Be quiet, just go. آنفوش خود یعقوب شروع کرد. حالا شاید میترسید شاید نکنید طوری بشه. anyways that's the Ramban. حالا این ملاخیم به اساف چی گفتن؟ خیلی جالب میگه این لاوان گرتی، من با لاوان زندگی کردم. right مثلا دیر شدم، حالا شور و خمور گاو و گوسفندی دارم. گرتی یعنی زندگی کردم. روشون میگه دو تا معنی از گرتی میکنی. میگه اینه که گرتی از گر میاد، یعنی I was a stranger. right آدم خیلی مهمی نشدم. فکر نکن که حالا که بابا من برخواد داده تمام دنیا دیگه من اومده چیز فعلا که هنوز خبری نشده. من رفتم اونجا 20 سال منو اذیت کرد، براش چی کار کردم کو برخواد دنبالی. نمبر 2 گرتی من با لاوان زندگی کردم ولی تریگ میثوات شمرتی، من 613 میثوا رو انجام دادم. ولو لمدت بمعصا و رائیم، از اعمال عیسی یاد نگرفتم. So گرتی همون حروف تریگ داره، تریگ یعنی 613. من تو این چند سال خودم پاک نگه داشتم. So correct. این لوان گرتی. So من با حساب زندگی کردم ولی 613 میثوا رو انجام دادم. زیر بستین فرماید که یعقوب داره یه مسیج خیلی مهم میده. داره میگه هاشم من دارم با حساب میجنگم، دارم با دشمن بزرگی مقابله میکنم، ولی دشمنی که من این مسیج خیلی بزرگ دستم دارم. چیه؟ اینی که در بدبختیایی که با لاوان داشتم هنوزم آمون نکردم. هر چی کدام سخت‌تر باشه موقعیت میثوا کردن، هنوزم میثوا میکنه، ز خودش بالاتره. Obviously یعقوب was very afraid, very scared. با حساب چیکار کنم؟ گفت هاشم درست که به لاوان میگه، ولی این واقعا داره به هاشم میگه هاشم من با لاوان زندگی کردم، 613 میثوا رو انجام دادم. That's the biggest mitzvah. هر چی که موقعش سخت‌تره برای میثوا کردم، هنوزم زحمت میکشه که میثوا رو انجام بده، خداوند بهش کمک بیشتری میکنه. ما یه اکسپرشن داریم سیایتا دیشمایا. یعنی چی دیشمایا؟
هرچی بیشتر.
دیشمایا یعنی یه کمک از خداوند. ما اون سیایتا دیشمایا میخوایم. We need Hashem's help. Right؟ حالا چطور هم هاشم هلپ گیرش میاد؟ بستگی داره که وقتی که تو یه چیزی برات سخته میثوا رو میکنی یا نمیکنی. Right؟ Obviously اگر هم توی نبهد زندگی میکنی که همه غذای کاشر اطرافش رستوران کاشر میخوره، اوکی میثوا کردی، ولی also easy for you to do. ولی یه نفر یه جا گیر کرده مسافرت غذا گیرش اوکی می توی رستوران پاستا میخوریم، یا پیتزا که چیزی توش نیست به خودش رایت من مجبور بودم. نفر میگه نه من حاضرم که تونه فیش بخورم برای 3 روز برای 4 روز، ولی من باید غذایی که غیر کاشر بخورم. کسی که بیشتر زحمت میکشه
به خودش هم بیشتره.
Hey, come. We would love to have you.
Come to the manager.
Okay. So he says a beautiful story. He says that you were Rav Shach was the Rosh Yeshiva. كان بزرگترین شیوای پانویچ بودن شوی اسرائیل، خیلی معروف رف شخ، یادم fire person, old person. یه تو بیمارستان بستری شده بود، حالش هم پیر بود، حالش خوب نبود. دوستاش گفتم میخوام برم یه طبقه پایین یه نفر رو میت کنم اون پایین. یه نفر اونجا بستری شده، I have to talk to him. خب اون بیاد بالا، تو چه خبری پایین؟ میگه که no I have to go. به هر حال همه رو به زور میگه من برم پایین با این خانواده‌اش. میخوام one question why you want to go see him, why you want to talk about him. یه آدمی که پایین بستری شده این خونه خیلی دعوا داره، شالوم بیتش خیلی خرابه، من میترسم که ازم جدا بشن. هر شب با این تا صحبت کردم هیچ وقت به من گوش نکرده. من شنیدم که تو بیمارستانه، میخوام برم ببینم هر چی بهش بگم همون حرفاست، به من گوش نمیده. گفتم که اگر توی سختی مریضیم بتونم چند قدم بردارم برم پایین باشه حرفتم، شاید به خاطر این سختی که میکشم هاشم بهم سیاحت دشمایه بده، بتونم یه کلمه جدید به این بگم، یه چیز جدید بهش یاد بدم، این بازنش خوب بشه، دعوا بذاره کنار، شالوم بعدیشون برگرده. رب شاه گفت که ایسی من تا دارم معمولی باشه حرف بزنم حسیتش ندارم. همین که تو سختی فهمید آدم تا سختی نکشه هشم سیاحتش رو میفرسته. آدم تو سرما، تو مریضی، تو بدبختی، تو بیپولی هنوز خواهد میسوا بکنه تا کار درست انجام بده هشم میگه واو سختی I can help you. What do you need help for? So اینجا که یعقوب گیر افتاده بود هشم گفت که I only help یعقوب گفت که هشم I asking for help because من با لاوان زندگی کردم و میسوا کردم right حتی با لاوان بودم میسوا کار نگذاشتم. Very very important. So another important thing دیگه با لاوان زندگی کردم right و تگ میسوا چمرتی تگ میسوا نگه داشتم. ما میدونیم که دیگه از مماره با پدر زن مادر زن با همه باید but there's a mistake unfortunately they say sometimes they say سلام do anything هر چی فقط شلام باشه هر شد so of course این اشتباست. یعقوب گفت من پدر زنم شلام دارم ولی به یک با یک شرط که چیزا سیدت میسال انجام بدم that I can let go right گفت که حساب درست که من با لاوان زندگی کردم ولی تریاک میسالم نگه داشتم فکر نکن که همه کار میکنم چون میخوام شلام باشه پیس باشه right لاوان گرتی تریاک میسال چمرتی we're discussing the لاوان گرتی so he says that he was telling Esther a very important lesson. He said I live with my father-in-law. You're very peaceful, right? So maybe some things Yaakov will do anything for peace, for shalom. To have peace, you do anything. Yaakov said, no, Garti. I lived with Lavan, but I kept all the mitzvot. So I will not compromise doing mitzvot because of shalom. Even though shalom is very, very important, right? You understand?
No, I understand. That's good.
Yeah, you understand.
No, don't worry.
It's as American as you are. So a person should always remember that not to compromise, not to give in to mitzvot because he wants to make peace. Personal things you have to give up. Personal preferences, compromise, give in. Look away. When it comes to mitzvot, you can't compromise to make peace. That's a very, very important rule. You cannot compromise mitzvot. Hashem's, requirements, because I want to make peace with my friend, with my brother, with my neighbor, with my wife. If my wife wants me to take a shower and smell good, I should do it. If my wife wants me to eat healthy, I should do it. My wife, wants me to go for a walk with her, I should do it. If my wife, wants me to come home early, I should do it. Whatever. Personal life, should compromise. Should make her happy. But my wife says, to a treif, non-kosher because that's what she likes. No, that I want to compromise. Oh, break Shabbat because I want to have, I want to go to family. It's Shabbat, you cannot do it. We cannot compromise mitzvot for sake of shalom, but anything personal, a person should be flexible, should be willing to give in. And one last thing is that Yaakov, in a way, made a lot of good metaphors for us. He made good genes, so to speak, for us, because Yaakov lived in a foreign country, lived with Lavan, with nobody else being Jewish around him, only him, and still kept mitzvot. So he made that gene in us that we can live in a foreign country, in Galut. We can be a very secluded area that no Jews live and still keep mitzvot. Already someone did it. Let's say a Jew, a young fellow is in college campus, middle of nowhere, he got accepted. Not such a good idea to go alone to an area that doesn't have Jewish community. But let's say he had to go for a trip, for business, for education, whatever he had to go. He can't say, "Oh, I'm alone. I'm in exile. I'm far away from my family." Well, it's okay to do whatever you want to do. So Yaakov,
It's like Joseph.
right? And Yosef learned from Yaakov. Yaakov was alone too with Laban, and he still was with Laban in Laban's house. So in Laban Garti, I lived with Laban and still kept mitzvot. So he brings down so many stories in Siberia. Freezing cold, and Jews had to work so hard, and there were Jews who kept mitzvot. They did not, as much as they could. There's so many examples. He says that Rav Gershon Kalivnesky, he remembers his mother had only one item in her all the time, and it was her siddur. She kept one book, and Russians came to kill her, to force her to give up, and she said, "There's no way. I'm not going to let go of my siddur." She kept her siddur, davening siddur, with her all the time in Siberia. He says that one of the policemen asked her, why are you holding on to this book? And she said, because this is my life, right? And the policeman said, I don't have that, and I still live a life. What do you need that siddur for a life? So she said, I don't understand how you can live a life without this, but maybe for you, but for me, this is my life. I have to keep it. So a person could live anywhere he or she is and still keep mitzvot and hold on to his religion. That's what Yaakov did. Okay, next. ויהי שור וחמור. So Yaakov told Esav that I have a cow and I have a donkey. I have a sheep and I have a servant and I have a maid. Right? Yaakov said, I have a cow and I have a donkey. So Rashi says that, what do you mean I have a cow? Derech eretz lomar al shevarim harve shor. It's a right behavior for people to say, when even they have a lot of cows, I have a cow, right? I have a lot of chickens, I have a chicken, I have a donkey. Those I have a lot of money, I have a lot of property. Just I have something, I have one thing. So Rav Moshe Feinstein asks, what does that mean that Rashi said derech eretz is the right way of behaving? How do you say derech eretz? Yeah, the right, right manners. The right manners is, if you have manners, you don't say I have a lot of cows, shevarim. Say, sure, I have one cow. So Moshe says, well, what's so important to talk like that? So he says, one is musar, that the person should not brag about his wealth. I say, I have this, I have that, how many cows I got, how many cars I have, how many buildings I have. Don't brag. Number two, even if Hashem, was good to you and gave you a lot of wealth, don't say I have a lot. Say I have only one thing. I have very little. So a person should not brag about having a lot. Say I have something. Thank God Hashem gave me something. Huh?
In Yiddish, ich mache Leben.
Then
How are you
we-
doing? I'm okay. I'm making a living. It's okay.
I hear.
You don't have to go.
Right. And also he says that that even for one cow you got, you have to thank Hashem. And we got much more than one cow, right? Person has a lot of property, a lot of money, meaning on every single thing Hashem has blessed him, he has to thank Hashem. Not only if you get 1,000 cows and I'm going to start counting. I'm going to start thanking. You got one, got one car. Thank Hashem for one car. You have one child. Thank Hashem for one child. You have, one employee. Thank Hashem for one employee. Whatever you got, thank what you have. And that's the difference between Esav and Yaakov. Esav always says, "I have a lot. I have a lot." The Israeli rabbi, Israeli rabbis, they have their own way of educating people. One thing he's very big at in his book, very, very good book I'm reading, he always says, don't follow else. Just because everybody else is doing doesn't mean you should do. Right? So, standards. People make up a standard and I have to follow because my city, everybody is doing this. That's the accepted thing. That's how everyone is doing. That's the minhag. That's custom. How many clothing do you have supposed to have? How much money you have to spend on something? Unfortunately, there are standards on everything, and we all have to follow. It says Chafetz Chaim, when he wanted to marry off his daughter to Rav Tzvi Hirsch Levinson, he said, I have one Tanai, one condition. Don't require my daughter, which will be your wife, to have a lot of clothes. 2 is good enough. So now, it says Rabbi, Chafetz Chaim was not talking about her dressing outside the house to show off what I have. That was not Chafetz Chaim's daughter's way of living, right? Talking about her own husband, even for the husband, don't make her crazy. Don't say you have to wear something new every day. 2 is enough, So maybe not in that level, but just it shows us that we're all here to impress other people. We want to tell other people what we have, how much we have, how much more we can have. That was not Yaakov. Yaakov had a lot as he left Lavan. He said, sure, I have one. He was not a show-off person. It's a very, very important thing person should keep in mind. So he brings down a story on the next pasuk when Yaakov talked to Hashem. Hashem said that you told me you're gonna ve'etiva imach, I'll do good to you. So he says that was once a Talmid Chacham in Bnei Brak wanted to marry off his daughter. Didn't have any money, so the few organizations got together to raise money for this rabbi to have money to marry off his daughter. After a few weeks, they give him a nice check and says, when we raise money, you want to marry your daughter, you need money, go do it. A few weeks later, they get an invitation that this rabbi is marrying off his daughter in the most beautiful hall in Bnei Brak. Who's just talking? What's going on? This hall cost many thousand, shekel, $1. There are much cheaper halls in town, which all the rabbis get married over there. Especially when you raise money for you, why are you wasting our money? Right? So they start talking, and nobody has the chutzpah to go over to tell him, don't do it. He hears people talking. And he goes to the Rav of the shul and says, can I make an announcement? He says, what? He says, I hear people talking about my daughter's marriage. I want to tell you a story. He says, what story? And he makes it very public and he says that when we wanted to, my family and the Khatan family went to the cheapest hall in town. We need an appointment. We want to come see the hall, to do the wedding there. They said, Tuesday is the day for the appointment to come and see the hall. On Monday, I get a call.
The day before.
The day before. Who's the one calling? The owner of the other hall. We want to meet you. So I go to the fancy hall in the office. The owner sitting there says, tell me what's your last name? I said, this is my last name. Who was this, person? Is he related to you? I said, yeah, that's my father. Let me tell you a story. Says, what's the story? So now the owner of the hall, the fancy hall talking, he says that my father just passed away. Just got up from Shiva a few days ago. We heard something about your father that we knew, but we didn't know it's your father. So what's the story? He says that when my father was in Europe before the war, the Nazis came to take him with them, and we lived. My father lived in a very small city, not too many Jews around, and there was one Jew who risked his life many times to save my father.
How was this one?
And we never saw him. We didn't know who the guy is until our father passed away. Before he passed away, he told us, if you find that person, make sure you do back to him what he did to. He saved my life many times. He risked his own life to save my life. So somebody came to Menachem Avel to visit us during Shiva, and he came from my father's city, and we told him a story. He said, yeah, I know. And the last name of that person was so-and-so. And we heard that there's a so-and-so in his town. We didn't know you're making a wedding. We just want to see you. We want to make sure if you are that guy's son or not. Happened to be that this time Chacham is the son of that person who saved lives. He said, we want to give you the hall free of charge. There is no charge, right? It's a little thing that we could do because you saved our head of the family. If my father wasn't around, we wouldn't be around. So then the rabbi says, I said if I get a free hall as opposed to paying a couple of thousand shekels for, of course I'm not going to waste the money that you guys raised for me. Why should I do that? So I'm getting a free hall, right? So
Give the money back.
I don't know if you give the money back, but the point is that many times we don't judge. We judge too fast. We don't know what's exactly behind the.
We don't know all the facts.
All the facts. So we shouldn't jump to the conclusion that this guy, stole the money. He wanted to make a big wedding, fancy wedding. Why he's wasting our money? They raise money. We don't know the facts. By saying the point of etiva imach, right? Right. The father saved this guy's life many times, to make sure he doesn't get drafted or get taken away Nazis. His son got a free hall, right? That's what Yaakov was awaiting. Okay, I want to say 2 points. On Pasuk Yud Aleph, he says, "Mikatonti mikol chasadim." Hashem, I'm smaller than all your goodnesses, all of your kindness. So Rashi says, I know you promised me, but when you do goodness, I'm afraid that I lost my zechut, my credit. Tzaddikim are always worried that Hashem has been too kind to them and they don't have the credit. Even though Hashem has promised them, that's why Yaakov was worried. Otherwise, Yaakov shouldn't be worried. Hashem has promised. He said, yeah, you did promise me, but you have done so good to me. So when you use your credits, you have to make up again, right? So he brings down a person should not go to somewhere dangerous because he's using up his credits, dangerous games, dangerous rides, that's not dangerous vacations. That's what he says. Okay, this Gaon Vilna says that the Gemara says the Gaon in Sota talks about the awfulness of Ga'ava.
Yeah.
The person should not be a big shot. Don't be Bal Gaiva, right? Don't have Gaiva. You should be humble. So Gemara makes a very interesting comment in Sota. It says you could have 1/8 of 1/8. Right? A little of gava, maybe sometimes it's good to have. Maybe sometimes you want to have influence on somebody, maybe you want people to listen to you. But only there's one comment in the Gemara that says 1/8 out of 1/8. Unfortunately, we go full eighth out of full eighth. You go full-fledged, but the person should be as humble as possible. Gaon says, if you count the Parsha in the Torah, what's the 8th Parsha of the Torah? Vayishlach. You got 8 weeks from Bereshit, right? And what's the 8th pasuk of the 8th Parsha? This pasuk, Katontim, I'm smaller.
Oh,
So Gaon says,
1/8 of
1/8 of 1/8, and Yaakov says, Katonti, still smaller.
Oh, I see.
You could have a little piece of a little piece,
Yeah,
but
still
even
not
that
small.
be smaller than that.
Yeah.
Gaon says Yaakov is hinting to that. Don't have any gava. Even Gemara says 1/8 of 1/8 is okay, but still be smaller than that. Don't take that with you. Okay? So Katonti mikol hachasadim. Another important fact you can see from this pasuk that Yaakov is running away from Laban, is about to meet Esau, doesn't know what's going to happen to him after meeting Esau. Esau might kill him. He has 400 people with him. So a lot of things at risk. What is he saying to Hashem? Hashem, you have done so much goodness to me, so much truth to me. When I left out of my father's house, I don't need stick in my hand. Keep a makli abarti. I don't need stick. I have nothing. I have a staff in my hand. And now I got 2 big camps that I have to take care of. I have 4 wives. I have 12 children, 13 children. I have 3 wives at a time. Because Rachel, I'm sorry, Rachel hasn't died. Rachel dies in the end of the Parsha. But so many servants, so many cows, so much property. Who remembers Hashem's goodness in the time of distress, pain, running away, meeting an enemy, going to war? All the people remember is bad things, right? I have so many on my shoulder now. I have to take care of so many people. Who wants this? Yaakov is putting everything in the right perspective. Instead of complaining and say, Hashem, why do you have to have that? Hashem, it feels so good to me. Baruch Hashem. 30 years ago, I had nothing, no money, nothing with me when I left Israel. I went to Laban's house, Padan Aram, but now I have so much. بفرمایید. واسه کلاس هستیم استاد. So it's a very important lesson to keep in mind that even though we are in distress, in a bad time, in a painful time, remember all the good things that Hashem has done for us. Hashem, please save me from my brother, from Esau. There's a very famous Brisker Rav that Yaakov was praying for 2 things. He was praying that Esau should not come attack him, kill him. That's Esau, from the hand of Esau. Also, he was praying that Hashem, I don't want Esau to come and become my brother again. I don't want friendship with him either. Right? Both are bad. If he is an enemy, he wants to kill me. If he's a friend, he has a bad influence on me. So Yaakov was praying to Hashem, get rid of it. I don't want him to be my friend. I don't want him to be my enemy. Right? I don't want him to be a brother. Save me from him being my brother, and save me from him being my Esau, my enemy. That's why later on when Esau said, let's go together. What did Yaakov say?
You go ahead.
You go ahead. I'll see you later. Why not? I don't want you to be my wife, my kids. I don't want to see you. I don't want bad influence on them. First, I should know when you see Rishaim, when you hang out with Rishaim, even Yaakov was worried about it. There's hashpah, right? An effect. When you go to a hot place, you get hot. You go to a cold place, you get freezing cold. You can't help it. This is how it is. Whatever is around you has an effect on you, right? When you see Rishaim, you see bad people doing averot, doing against God, talk nivul peh. Whether you like it or not, you pick up and you think, oh, I can talk like this, I can watch things, I can be the same. That's the Esau part, right? So it will become part of us if we hang out with them. And unfortunately, it doesn't take too long to become like them. So Yaakov was dominating that I don't want your kindness either. I don't want your affection. Your friend, but that's it. Bye-bye. Not too close. He says that a person, talks about the mincha. What does the mincha mean? Mincha means a gift, right? Offering. So he says he gave a lot of gifts to Esav. So he talks about the idea of gift. He says that a wise husband knows that his wife is doing so much for his household to take care of the house, the children. She lets him go to daven, go to learn. All these things come because she's involved in the house and she's taking care of the house. So there's a book called Amudei Shesh. I'm not sure who wrote it. He brings down that he once wanted to appreciate his wife. So he said, what should I do to show that I'm makir tov? I'm grateful to what my wife has done for me. She deals with the house, she cooks, she shops, she makes money that I should be able to learn. I got a job offer to be a Rav. My wife said, you don't have to be. I work this way. You don't have to deal with the whole community. You could learn more. So Amudei Shesh said, what should I do to appreciate my wife's dedication? So he said that I want to do something that will last forever. He went and he asked a sofer to write a Tehillim on a cloth, on a parchment, and he donated that Tehillim to a shul in Yerushalayim that they have a custom to read Tehillim every morning with a bracha. We don't do that. We don't make a bracha on reading Tehillim, but that shul had a custom of reading Asher Kiddushanu V'Sivanu Likro B'Ketuvim. It was such a custom. And there are some Iraqi shuls that they still have the custom. Shabbat afternoon, they make a bracha on a Tehillim and they read Tehillim. He said, if I want people to remember that I indebted to my wife, so I'm going to get them a chocolate, a flower, it's going to go away. It's going to, next week, no one knows, no one remembers. I want to do something that will be a real mincha, something that, a good gift. I dedicate that Tehillim for her zechut, the shul, they're going to use it. So, right? Something to remember. A good gift is something that's everlasting. Obviously, a flower is important. Nice clothes, nice jewelry is important. But something we do something that will always stay. Okay, the Torah talks about the fight between Yaakov and Esav, or the Malach of Esav, Sar shel Esav, the minister of Esav. He was so strong to overcome the fight. He won the fight, right? And and the Malach wanted to run away. So, but Yaakov was very strong. Brings down a very long story from Kloisenberger Rebbe. Very big tzaddik. He went through Holocaust, Auschwitz, concentration camps, ghettos, very hard life. But he says all the time he was worried how to do mitzvot, how to respect the dead around him. He never disrespected the dead people. He respected the live people. He never killed anybody, even they were about to die. All he cared was about Hashem, to plant tefillin, to wash Yitzhak Yadayim, to pray, to do Kiddush Levana, Bikat Levana. So all he was worried was that Hashem is also in Galut. Because Hashem says, I'm with you in your pain. So he wasn't worried about his own pain. He was just worried for Hashem's pain, not for his own pain. I'm not going through all the stories that he talks about him, but there's a very important lesson I took out of this Kloisenberger Rebbe. He said many people were with him in these wagons that they were, carrying Jews, animal wagons, right? In the trains from one place to another place. And he said the matzah of the situation was so bad that people actually became like animals. I'm talking about Jews, but they were hungry, they were desperate, they lost everybody. They act like an animal. You find food for yourself. Whatever you can grab, do it. Save your life. That's the instinct of people. So when they wanted to get out, they would step on other people. They would sometimes kill other people because they wanted to save their lives. But that was not Kloisenberger Rebbe. So the very important bottom line is that, unfortunately, in a very bad, severe situations like Holocaust, people become like animals. We act like animals, but that's what, unfortunately, the Matzav is. It's a very, very bad situation. But the tzaddik can keep himself to stay as a human being. Right? Don't get out of your mind. Don't become crazy. So that was Kloisenberger Rebbe. He stayed a human being. Don't lose yourself, right? Don't go mad. Person, when he's in a bad situation, doesn't care. He talks whatever. He acts crazy. He loses himself. He's not himself anymore. And many people give him the right. You're in a very bad situation. And that's what's true with many people at Holocaust, at Auschwitz. But there were yechidim, individuals who kept that, very spiritual part of them, and they stayed calm. They stayed focused, and they had more bitachon. So I think it's very, very important that a person going through a hard time not to lose everything. Don't go mad. Relax. A person has to stay focused. I want to tell you one last ha'ara. He says he brings a beautiful story, a mashal, right, from Ben Ish Chai. He says that the Malach could not win the war against the fight, or the Yaakov says, okay, you know what, I'll give you bracha, right? So he couldn't war, he first he hit the thigh of Yaakov, and then let me go. He said, no, I'm not going to send you till you give me brachas. Okay, what's your name? Yaakov. Okay, I'm going to change Yaakov to Israel. Israel means somebody is strong, somebody can win the war. So he says that there's a very important rule in how to win a war. Right? Many times to us, I have to win the fight. I have to be the winner. And many times the winners are the losers. They think they win the war, but they actually lost the war. Who is the real winner? When you make the other person feel like you won, but do what I'm telling you to do. Right? It takes a very big chachma to make the other person feel like I won, But at the same time, you're correcting him to do the right thing. It brings down this mashal from Ben Ishchai. Ben Ishchai says there was in Spain, I guess it was a big thing to either at the time they didn't have guns, but they how you throw the dart. You know, if you hit the target, right, the middle circle. So the king was an expert in throwing the dart to the middle. He heard that there's another expert in town that everyone talks about him as perfect. They said, you know what, you have to make a competition. He was better, right? And it's okay, we make a competition between the king and the fellow talented guy. So the king starts, was the king, and throws to the circle, to the dart, to the middle of the target. Let's say it's like 3 centimeters off, 1 inch off. It's pretty good still from the big dart. Next another one, let's say quarter inch off again. Higher, lower, to the right, to the left. He never gets to the target, but it's pretty close. Goes around it. I would say, wow, it's great shots. The king did a very good job, as expected. Now the turn is for the second one, the talented guy. He comes and he shoots 3 inches off from the circle, from the dots, from the middle. Okay, another shot. He shoots another one, exactly the same place. Another one. 5 shots. The same exact spot he gets. And everyone says, oh, the king won. Because he's only 1 inch off. This guy is 5 inches off. So, but there's a big difference. The difference is that the king will never shoot the same place. Always off a little bit. But the other one would shoot exactly the same point. But let's say 5 inches off. Clap for the king. The king, you're right. You're the winner. You get the medal. So then everybody leaves. The fellow goes to the king, says, King, I want to congratulate you. You're the winner. But I will tell you something. Did you notice that I shot at the same place all 5 times? I said, yes. How did you do it? I said, I could have done exactly to the dot too, to the target. For your own honor, I don't want to embarrass you. Right? I shot 5 inches to the right or to the north, whatever. But you see my expertise. I can do the exact same shot that I do every time. I don't want to embarrass you because you're the king. You should be the winner. The king notices, wow, you're right. You could have gotten the title of winner, but you didn't. You gave up for me. I appreciate that. But Ishchai says, you see, that's the chokhmah, the wisdom of winning a war. If the guy would have gotten the target, he would have lost his life. The king would get upset and say, well, you win me? Kill him. I don't want you to be better than me. Right? What did the guy do? Was a very wise person. He didn't shoot exactly to the middle. He let the king win. He said, king, you win. It's okay. I want you to win. But no, I'm right. I could have won myself. Says Rabbi, that's the chokhmah of a winner. Right? Person in his life thinks, if I win my wife, I tell me you're wrong, you don't understand. Then she's more on guard, more offensive. She goes on the defense. Who said you are wrong? So a person has to be very careful. You want to win a war, right? Many times, if you lose the war to him or to her, say, you are the winner, but this is the right way. It's more productive, right? A person should know many times the definition of winning is very, very important. What it means to win, right? What does it mean win? At this point, to make him or her embarrassed, to tell everybody, I won, I know better, I'm smarter, I'm the one who makes decisions. Is that the winning? It says, once a big wise person went to Alexander the Great. And when he saw him, he fell on the floor and asked him what he wanted to ask him. And Alexander, because you fell on the floor, you bow down to me, I do it for you. And he went back, you fall on the floor. It's not your cover, it's not your honor. He said, let's say if I have a gun, somebody was deaf. He couldn't hear, right? I had to scream for him to hear me. Is that to my honor because I have to scream? That's how it works. So he will not hear me other ways. Some people, their ears in their head, and some people's ears to their feet. Sometimes I have to go close to their ear and scream. Sometimes I have to go to their feet to scream. That's how it works. You can win the argument. I can ask what I can ask. Fall on the floor. I do it, right? So, thank you. So that's why Yaakov was so humble. For example, he says when Yaakov left Laban, what was the ending? He wrote a contract. He signed a contract. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do that. Malach here is saying, Ki sarita im Elohim v'im anashim tuchal. So I'm not going to call you Yaakov. I'm going to call you Israel, because you can win the war with a Malach and with people. Who is the people? Anashim. Rashi says Esav and Lavan. So he says, how did he win Lavan? He ran away from him. He had to make peace with him. That's not winning. That's giving in. In Esav, he bowed down 7 times to Esav. He gives so much kavod, so much doron, gifts. He didn't. How did he win? That's winning, right? Winning is not only in the battlefield that I win, I kick him down, I destroy. Sometimes making peace also winning. It depends how you define winning. What's your goal, right? I'm not saying every war you have to just compromise and say, okay, bye-bye, it's okay, you don't have to win. But in life, a person has to know. Yaakov said, if I win Esav with 400 people, he'll come back with 800 people, with 900 people, with 1,000 people. I can't do it. So let me make peace, right? Let me buy him off with some money, some bowing down, That's how I'm going to approach him. It depends how you define peace. Another important thing he says, that don't forget, Yaakov was dealing with his father-in-law. End of the day, his father-in-law. He had to make peace somehow with it, right? Or Esav. We have to get along somehow. I can't make my father-in-law go crazy. I can't make my kind of brother go crazy. We have to come to some conclusion. So it's important how you win, right? How you make the person win, and how you deal with your family. Many times you can't just say, I want to win. After the winning, what's going to happen? You're going to lose him. We'll lose her. You don't want to do that. So many times it's good to just make him feel like, oh, you won. We're all right. Okay, you get the credit. Nice. But let's do the right thing. Okay? Those are some of the stuff I wanted to share with you. Parshat Vayishlach. Chazak ve'emot. Have a great day and Shabbat Shalom.